Hello, I am Sukree Boodram. I recently viewed a video message by Dr. Keon West, a psychologist focusing on intergroup contact. Dr. West communicated enough for a person to learn how to think outside one's own group and be accepting of others who are different. To view this 6-minute video, see the link posted on this screen. His message is that we can become more accepting of those who are different by learning about them through programs such as intergroup contact. So what is intergroup contact? I see this as being willing to be part of or having dialogue with other groups in order to get to know them better. By opening ourselves to other groups, we may see similarities versus differences. What is intergroup bias? Bias is defined as a tendency to believe that some people or ideas are better than others, which usually results in treating them differently or unfairly. And intergroup is further defined as being or occurring between more than one social groups. For me, this means that I have a certain prejudice towards people of other groups, whether it is because of their race, color, religion, sexual preference, or even where they live, how they speak, or even how they may dress. Because of this bias, I could treat those outside of my group differently and even unfairly. I may think their ideas, beliefs, and opinions are inferior to mine. I may choose not to interact with them because they seem to be less than. So why do we harm others who are different? I feel the primary factor that pushes others to harm those who are different is ignorance. Ignorance leads to fear, and fear leads us to become defensive. This could not be more true of the hate crimes against Mr. Matthew Shepard, who was brutally killed because he was gay, and Mr. James Byrd, who was dragged and killed because he was black. Ignorance is simply the lack of knowledge, understanding, or education in anything we do not know. It does not mean we're stupid. It means that we do not know enough of the subject matter to make an intelligent, informed, and educated decision or choice. Another reason why people may harm others is because of retaliation. As in the case of the bombing of the Twin Towers, we have seen hate crimes at an all-time high in the U.S. Many who may look Islamic was physically or verbally attacked in the months and years following the incident. What are some of the ways to reduce intergroup bias? One way is to start programs where open dialogue happens between two groups. Another way is to educate oneself on how to be accepting of others' opinions and choices. What are a couple more innovative ways to help further reduce bias? We could live a day or a week in the belief of someone different, and then form an educated, informed decision about them and their experiences. I would encourage those who are lacking knowledge and understanding to make a date with a person or group they are at odds with. We might be very surprised to see they are not much different from us. So, how does intergroup contact changes our behavior? Spending time with others outside of our group tends to bring us closer to their members. We will see that our family dynamics and the things we value are very similar. Some additional ways of how intergroup contact changes our behavior: we can start talking and sharing with others who are different and start to build bridges towards mutual respect. We can share our personal stories of values and struggles, which will help us become more open towards other groups and their values and struggles. Don't be afraid to be honest and vulnerable. There are barriers to intergroup contact, and what are some of those barriers? First, there is a belief that if we try to reach out to other groups with whom we have an adverse relationship with, this might further aggravate the situation. Next, there is a belief that the contact may not make any difference. Finally, reaching out to an outgroup may seem to be a betrayal of our current group. What are some additional new barriers to intergroup contact? First, I think they might have fears that if we reach out to other groups, we're going to lose our identity and become like the members of other groups. Also, a lack of factual information or ignorance towards a group's beliefs or preferences is also a barrier. Finally, another barrier could simply be the fear of retaliation from our own groups and fear of becoming an outcast from our group. Thank you for listening. This project was done as part of a diversity class requirements from the University of Central Florida, course number SOP 3784, Psychology and Diversity. It is copyrighted to Sukree Boodram and the University of Central Florida. No sharing, copying, or reproductions allowed without permission.